Welcome back, fight friends, to another episode of the Shoutout Podcast. In the house today, lean, mean Tyson Green, WBC multiple-time Muay Thai champ, which we'll get into. But Mr. Tyson Green, how you doing, man?
I feel great. I'm glad I finally get to talk, man. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, good. And me too, man. And to be honest, we've known each other a really long time. We've been in the circuit a long time. So
And
looking
we've been
forward to
talking
having
about doing this for a
Yeah, exactly. So, and I apologize, man. I take it one podcast at a time. I'm a scatterbrain. I got to be everywhere. So
It's all good.
awesome, man. Man, where do we start? Well, first of all, let's just quickly recap. So your last fight. So I've got to commentate a ton of your fights. Last one was at Capital Punishment in Ottawa. You didn't come away with the win that one, and obviously I see a look of disappointment in your face there. But just tell us about that fight. How was training for that fight? How was fighting Ben, a southpaw? Just how did that experience go?
You know, the training was great. I had a lot of improvements that I made physically, mentally. I was good and ready for that fight all the way up until I stepped into the ring, and bruh, I don't know, man. It just actually made me come back to it because he asked me.
Hold on, Tyson. I got to be honest, man. Your audio was really crackly.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, man, way better.
Damn. Okay, I'll take the headphones off. Cool.
All right, man. So I apologize, man. So you're gonna have to run us through that again a little bit. So obviously, like we were talking about, Ben didn't have anything surprising. Obviously, a beautiful left kick, and
man, left kick was nice, no doubt. Left kick was nice. He was strong in the clinch, and he's a tough dude. Like, dude's had a whole bunch of fights, so he's not gonna back down. I give all my credit to him, but I know me. And like, I didn't even show not even 10% of what I do on a regular basis, in practice and stuff. So yeah, that one burned. And like I said, it was almost it for me. I was always almost like, you know what, let's stop this competition stuff. Maybe I don't got it. But yeah, it was my son who actually came to me. He was like, Dad, let's go hit some pads. Let's go to the gym. And you know what it's like. You go in there, you start hitting the bag, you start hitting the pads, you start moving around. That itch this hits you, that love comes back, and now I'm living in the gym again.
There you go. Nice. Well, and listen, man, that's why I personally call you the modern day samurai, man. It's just and I want to talk about this. So before I get ahead of myself here, so like we were saying, like, listen, everything can go right in a fight camp, and then it's just sometimes it just doesn't work, and it sucks. And that's the hard reality of fighting. And don't get me wrong, Ben is that whole gym, man, they are monsters. That's not an easy gym to compete with, period. They're strong, they work hard, they clinch, all that good stuff. So, but it's also cool for me to just get out of the scene a little bit. Like, I always saw you on the Muay Thai World Cup. It was cool to commentate in just a different scene, different rules. We don't fight 3-3s out here. So it was interesting. How did this fight come about, by the way?
Ben reached out to me himself.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he reached out to me himself. Let's be honest, okay? So
Please, sir.
I feel like, he seen that, I wasn't out there making a lot of noise, and he saw, he had that kind of building for himself, that whole kind of thing was kind of to prop him up a little bit, and he needed some fodder, right? You needed a sacrificial lamb, and my dumb ass gave it to him. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I wanted to go in there and prove to him that I wasn't who he thought I was, but here we are. Kudos to him. He did a good job scouting, and he got the crew in there to give him that award and everything, and he had the whole crowd and everybody's loving him. He took all the pictures and stuff, and I'm glad, happy for him. But yeah, man, that
Is
burned.
that something that you took personal getting ready for this fight? Like, you feel you kind of
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I took that personal because I felt like that's what he was trying to do. He's seen that, the last couple fights didn't look so great, and he reached out to me. Like, I've never really ever talked to Ben. I never, maybe I'm wrong, but that's
Sure,
just how
sure.
I felt. That's what
I
was
yeah, hey,
my motivating factor. And yeah,
Well, and I'm only looking for what your opinion and your story, whether it's true or not. I mean, if that's how you were feeling, that's how you feel, then that's okay.
yeah, yeah.
All good, man.
No, I took that shit personal, man. I was, yeah.
Um, so you felt like you d- like did you feel that? So the sacrificial lamb thing and all the cards stacked against you, like, did you feel that way going into this? Like, or was it you think that's what's going to happen, or were you feeling that way a little bit? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I wasn't. Well, okay. I was honestly feeling that way because I just said so, right? So like, but with the motivation was to prove his ass wrong, right? And I love fighting, man. If you ask me to fight and I can make that weight, brother, I'm fighting. I'm fighting because I love this stuff. Like it's breathing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The
man.
longest time I've ever stopped, like ever since the day I started, is probably 2 months. That's it. I just it's life for me. So of course I'm gonna take the fight, but I felt like just the nature of how he reached out to me. We never really talked. I haven't really done anything special for somebody to be like, "Hey man, I need you for my main event." Like it just felt like a belt. Like I just came off like a big loss. You know what I mean? And I'm fighting for a belt just like that. I just like, okay, well, I see what you're trying to do here, but guess what? I'm gonna show you. That's what I said to myself.
Sure. No, man. I
Instant.
get it. Okay. Interesting. Um, but that's also why I literally, you don't have to call yourself it, man, but that's modern day samurai shit, man. you know, there's not many people like that. Now, let's go back. Let me tell you where I think I started seeing that. All right.
Okay,
Where I had a feeling that have you ever said no? Besides not making weight, have you ever said no to a fight?
absolutely not. The only
Okay.
time a fight hasn't happened is because somebody who was representing me, they said no on my behalf.
I understand.
Oh, maybe we can get
Sure.
into that, but
Sure. No, I understand. Um, So, I'm going to be honest. So, a long time ago, we both trained under the Arashido banner.
hmm
I got to be real with you. I think I remember one sparring session, and maybe I saw you once at a continuous tournament. I think, and that's all I can really remember. Now, we split from the gym, and I know, and with all respect, rest in peace, Jamie Aspley. He opened a gym, and so of course there was a little bit of heat there. Blah blah blah.
yeah.
And then, lo and behold, we have a tournament that has you, Chris McMillan, and Ben Pride.
Oh man.
and it was now listen, I'm an old man. I don't rivalries are not my thing anymore. I just straight don't give a shit.
hmm
That's just how I feel. But for sure, back in the day, you're heated, you're on a team, you pick your team, you die for your team.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, and it just so happens that you and Chris McMillan were fighting in the first round.
Bruh.
And um uh, here's what I can just tell you is during that fight, I recognized you had no respect for him as far as just like having more experience in a fight. That's just period. Just having a lot more experience. You didn't give a shit. And I recognized that fight, man. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And and that's something I really have noted. And since then, man, I've if I'm being honest with you, and I'm very curious to know why, but it feels like you've done a lot of this on your own. And and of course I want to know why. Of course. And I haven't seen anybody have, and we've talked a little bit about this, but a roller coaster of ups and downs in a career. And you still won't say no to anyone. I just So let's start with back in the day. Obviously, we learned about this never say die. This modern samurai has been around longer than we realize. Where does that come from?
I just been a competitor, athlete my whole life. Like literally my whole life. I've always been in competition type stuff, right? And I just I just love just challenging myself in that way, like going through the having to learn what you're getting into, learn your opponent, learn yourself, figure out what your strengths and your weaknesses are, build on those strengths, try to minimize those weaknesses, and then see it, see it in your practice. And then you have that moment in the game where you don't have the structure of the practice anymore. It's all instinct, right? So it's like, what instincts have I prepared the best, And then the game will tell you, and then you sit back, and if you win, you feel good about everything you did. That motivates you for the next one, right? So now I'm pushing, I'm trying to sharpen even more, right? You lose, you look back, what should I have done? What did I didn't do? Let's go back to the gym. Let's go back to the lab and build on that, right? And then now come the next competition, you're a different cat than where you were in the last one. And I've just been addicted to that, man. Addicted to that. Just growing and growing and growing and like winning and feeling that motivation, like you're invincible. And then someone comes and knocks you down. Oh, you're gonna knock me down? Let me find out how I can stand up stronger for when I meet you again. And I've just been addicted to that. I don't have an addicted personality, but I'm addicted to that. Like that part of the game, that growth that, martial arts and as a whole gives you, like, oh man, I absolutely love it. So if you're gonna give me that challenge, me personally, I'm gonna grow. Like, oh, you giving me a chance to grow? You giving me a chance to get better? Let's do it. The result of the fight or the result of the game is what it is. But it's that process getting there, not just fight camp or anything, just your training, your everyday. My kicks ain't feeling like I want my kicks to feel. So I'm gonna go to the bag and, do 500 kicks until that 499 feels like the best kick ever. Now I go into sparring, everybody's getting a piece of that kick, and I just keep growing from there. So that's really what it was. I just love, the challenge and how I can make myself better to meet that challenge. And it's
I
just, yeah.
I did not want to interrupt that. Fucking respect, man. That was well said. And well, and I understand I'm old and I don't fight and blah blah blah, but I'm a martial artist for life.
Yeah.
Like
Me too.
like I said this a million times, but my right knee, I damaged it so bad that I'm done training. It's over for me. But now, do you guess what? Now I'm using my hands. Like fuck it. Maybe I can't float around. I kind of got to stand still.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna stop.
I love
And
it.
and the second my jab feels good, I throw an uppercut and go, ooh, gross. Okay, we got something to work on.
Yes.
It's and to be honest, maybe that answered a lot of questions for me, what you said, because I'm the same way. So I'm not saying fighters don't need coaches. I'm definitely not saying that. But when you can be 100% honest with yourself, a lot of that self-coaching, I mean, it's what has to happen. If anything, too many people are brain dead and rely on someone else to do the thinking for them. That's not growth.
No.
You have to do it.
Exactly.
And man, that was well said, man. Well, I like that.
Yeah. The worst, losses suck, but every single loss I've had, I've gotten better,
Right.
whether
Yeah.
whether that was shown in the next fight after or whatnot. You can ask anybody who's trained with me. You see it when I'm training. Every single time I grow because I'm not afraid to look at that. I'm not afraid to be like, oh man, like you did not condition yourself properly for this fight. Like, no, you didn't, abs are not after the weight cut. No, bro, you weren't in good shape. And like, okay, so next time we come in, like I'm going to do what maybe I was telling myself I was doing good enough, but wasn't. But this time, oh, you saw what happened when you didn't do it. So let's go and do it, Man, it just builds and builds and builds until you got people calling you modern day samurai.
There you go. So is a lot of this just like everybody likes titles, of course, but is this more, is your real title almost like growth and self-respect?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The belts, everybody's goals are different. I don't chase belts, man. If they happen as a result, that's cool. But for me, the growth is like everything that led up to before I step over the ropes. Like, my favorite part is obviously the fight. Like, that's so much fun. But what keeps me going, what makes me want to get up and train and look for the next fight and take on all comers is like, I know every single time I got to step in front of somebody, I am gonna grow as as Tyson. Like I'm gonna become better physically for sure, but mentally, like you just become so much sharper. How you deal with, how you deal with the adversity of training. Just like we're saying, when you got to look at yourself in the mirror and realize, like, man, you're not doing as well as you need. You need to practice that. Like I'm okay with that. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, the martial arts mindset.
Yeah, man.
Um, so and I'm not listen, I'm not looking too ahead in the future here, but eventually for everybody, this ride comes to an end.
Hmm.
How is someone like you going to be able to keep that growth mindset going after fighting?
Coaching.
Yeah,
Coaching. I'm
yeah,
starting to do it now because, I've been around a lot. So I know that I know there's far less fights in front of me than what's behind me. You know
sure,
what I mean?
sure. Yeah,
So I know that. But coaching has been a lot of fun, especially in the last probably 5 or 6 years. I've really embraced that. And now uh, I'm seeing kind of how your coaching can help people. Like you're seeing the growth from it. I see my own growth all the time. But when you work with somebody closely for a long period of time, and then you see them grow, and then they come back and give you that credit, like it's almost the same fulfillment. So for me, like I'm never gonna give up. But when it comes from like transitioning from the being a competitor type, I'm going right into coaching. I'm already in it right now, having a great time being a coach when it's not about me. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna go for sure. It's so fulfilling. It's so fulfilling.
and are these some of the things we talked about that sort of um shit? How did I lose the word? You know, Jesus Christ, building yourself character.
Yeah.
How the hell are we just? What word did we just use? How did I
And
forget that word?
like learning from it, you're saying
Yeah, well, and the self respect and Jesus, I just used that word.
like self growth?
Growth. How do I forget the word growth? Go back to school, Jason. How do you are those things that you try to instill into these people, like not just the punch and the kick, but is that part of who Coach Tyson is as well?
Yes, yes.
Nice.
We know. We've been in it long enough. The game is 90% mental. Sometimes 94%, right? Mental. The physical stuff, if you do the reps, if you're consistent, the body's going to grow, right?
Yep.
We
Yep.
know that. We know that. But what has to grow with it and what has to keep everything sharp and, doing the right things is your mindset, And I've battled with mindset the entire time, confidence, just feeling like, I belong, whether I should be at this level or not, all that kind of stuff, right? So when I'm talking to, anybody, I'm always getting them to think the game, right? Don't just do it. Like think it, not overthink it, but allow your brain to be active. This is not a mindless spin exercise, right? We're not just on a treadmill just running. Nah, man, your brain is as active as it's ever been because you're literally reading a human being's reactions and movements, and you're basing what they're doing, what you're gonna react and do, right? So it's always the mindset. And then, you know, I know the times when I never really had anybody to talk to me about the psychology of the game, right?
Right.
Everybody always I won't say everybody, but a lot of times people saw my physical ability and they're just like, make him do. Make him do. Oh, you can jump? Make him do. Oh, I want to see this. Oh man, it would be so cool if you would do, let's just do this, do this, do this, right? And nobody would really ask me like, what do you like? When someone's doing stuff, what's your move? What's your go-to? I would never really get that. So, and it didn't make me feel great. So when I talk to guys, I try to get them to let me know like how they want to move, how they want to do things. And I just take my experience from seeing those and dealing with those types and try and, shift them and push them in their own direction. I don't try to make anybody fight like me. I use my experience, but I don't try to make anyone fight like me.
Yeah, man. Said like an experienced coach, man.
Yeah.
Um, so with that mindset and reliance on self-coaching, and I don't mean I genuinely don't mean any disrespect to anybody, but when I say doing it alone seems like by choice, is that a large reason? Like, did you just feel like you didn't really need a coach or
No. I've been a team guy since I started getting into athletics. I've always played
okay,
a team
I got
sport.
you.
Never really did the individual sports until now jumping in. And I don't even consider it individual, honestly.
No,
Like
agreed.
you have a coach when you go into the fight, you're performing, but you got at least two guys in the corner telling you what to do, what to see, right? You got a whole crew of people. Half of them are made up of people who you've been training with daily, weekly to get you ready for this. That's a whole team. And then you got your supporters and stuff who, they come and they'll be there on days when, you're having events or whatever. Like it's a team sport, just like a position in any sport. You may perform individually in your position, but you come there with a group. You can't grow by yourself. But for me, it's just honestly, I still don't know what it was. I attribute it to like maybe jealousy. I don't know, but there was always like a discomfort with my growth. Like as I would get better, it would make the guys who were ahead of me and had some kind of power or leadership in the club to get bothered by it. And then if for whatever reason, I've been easily disposable. Like when it was ready to get rid of Tyson, it was foots to ass, get out the door and go figure it out. And that's kind of how it's always been. I've never chose to train by myself. Every gym I've gone to, like I've been part of the team. I sing their praises. I don't talk bad about anybody, because I never felt
Oh,
like I needed to. I was part
sure.
of a group. I was part of the team. We all trying to grow together. But then, I'd start moving and start feeling good and start doing good. And then it just seemed like it was a problem, you know? When
I
I
gotta be
started
honest, I don't know how to respond to that. I've never I that just sounds so foreign to me.
it sounds foreign to a bunch of people, it seems. But this has been my career, Like I've had times where, like Arashido was awesome. Like, man, some of the guys I was training with, obviously, rest in peace, Jamie. If you remember back in the day, a guy named Robbie Merrill, he
Sure
was a
do,
killer
man.
back
Shout
in the
out to
day,
Robbie. He was a tank.
right? Brian Kong had a crazy amateur career. He
Shout out
was
to
a
B
killer.
Kong.
A jerk to spar with, a really nice guy. Really nice guy. But
He's gonna hear
man,
this. I promise.
what a jerk to spar with, man. He would try to kill me back in the day. I love Brian. Brian, I love you, brother. He was rough. Tim Lowe,
Shout
uh,
out, friend of the show.
Derek. I don't want to butcher his last name, but you know
Throwback.
who I'm talking about,
Yep.
right? We had some killers in there, right? And I was training all the a guy that I train with now, Dustin Bertrand, the
Yep.
killer in the clinch.
I
Right?
remember him.
He used to tear my ass up, man. He used to tear my ass up. And so we had a good team there, and I was sparring with all those guys, getting them ready for fights, but I couldn't get no fights. Like I would get called in to spar with these guys. They'd call me, not those guys, but like, the leaders. I don't know if you want me to say names. I could say names, but the leaders, they'd be like, "Hey Tyson, come in and get these guys ready for a fight. Come take Tim's left kick for me. Get him ready for a fight." And of course, let's go. Like, let's do it. And then be like, "Hey man, I'm feeling good. I feel like I'm ready. All right, cool. All right, cool. We'll set something up for you. By the way, can you come in and make sure AJ's ready for his fight? Oh, can you come in? Jamie needs a couple rounds. Can you come do some rounds with him? Yeah, let's go. Hey man, anything about a fight for me? Yeah, don't worry. And this is what it was for a long time. And I just had, it got to a point to where I was like, hey, like, I don't want to just be here for nothing. I'm not one of the regular people kind of just paying a membership to be active. Like I want to compete. I'm in here with the competitors. I want to compete.
Right.
I
I'm
wasn't.
on the team.
I'm on the
I'm a
team,
team
man.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to compete, but I wasn't getting it. So I had to make a choice, right? I had to try to find some. At the time, Jamie started his thing. Jamie was always, when we trained, he was always a very, very good motivator, like really good. So I followed him. And honestly, he was great. He was good. It's unfortunate how things went with him, but out of everybody, like he was probably the most, he probably wanted to see me win the most out of everybody, you know? I was super green at the time, but he was probably out of everybody, he wanted to see me win the most, you know? And then after that, it was just next level, it was, yeah, we love you. We love you, man. You're great. You're great. And then I started doing good. And then I won that belt the first time. And it was like, I was wrong for winning the belt. It's like everything changed, I wasn't as, I don't want to say appreciated like I should have been. Everybody's singing my praises, but yeah, man, it's just like
I understand.
no appreciation, you know? And then, yeah. And then eventually it turned into a quarrel of some sort. And it was like, yo, you know what? Get out of here. You're done, And then for a time after that, I was training by myself. I just had, my boy, Brian Gablehouse and my other boy, Anson. That's how we trained, right? We had there was a gym downtown Edmonton here that would let me go and do some pads and stuff in there. I couldn't even skip in there, man. I couldn't even skip. I had to go in there and just do pads and stuff. And that's how I got ready for a lot of fights until till now. Now I'm pretty good team now. I feel in a good place, but it just felt like for a long time there where I could have been supported better, who knows? Who knows where the career could have went.
First of all, where are you training now? Shout them out.
Wolf House MMA. Yes,
you got it.
Love those guys. A good group of guys. I love the young guys that I'm working with. Really good team. Some good boxing there. We're trying to build up the Muay Thai. It's coming along, but some really good boxing there. Yeah, man. I'm loving Wolf House.
Nice, man. Good to hear. Good group of people.
Yeah.
It's feeling that way, man. That would have broken many people many times over. And you just refuse, hey?
No, bro, I love it so much. Before I started Muay Thai, I was in Taekwondo. And I loved Taekwondo and I was in Ontario. I moved to Alberta, wanted to continue Taekwondo, but all the clubs out here were all about money, right? And they didn't want to give me my credit for what I had earned coming over. They wanted me to start all the way fresh at the beginning. I didn't like that. I had always been a huge fan of like K1, Infusion. I remember one time I told Shane Campbell this long time ago. I seen him in like this international tournament. He was like the only Canadian guy. It was in like Malaysia or something. I don't know, somewhere overseas, right? And he was just killing it, And I was like, man, that guy's sick. And there was something about Muay Thai that when I stepped onto the mats for the first time, put those gloves and shin guards on and started doing the stuff, it just sung to me, And I was just hooked ever since. And I just never gave it up. It's just breathing, man. Like it's helped me through the hardest times of my life, the most depressing times, all that nonsense, going through all those times where you think people are on your side and people that love you, and then literally in like overnight they cut you off, and not only they cut you off, they hate your ass after. Like you went through years where we were arm in arm, like this is my dog, I go and I tell anybody who would listen, yo, these are my people. And then literally overnight, they cut me off to the point where they won't even look at me. They treat me like I tried to kill one of their kids or something, like.
Oh, this is hurting my feelings hearing this.
Was that?
This is hurting my feelings hearing this.
It's been a rough road, but what's kept me is like, man, I love putting those gloves on, man. I love hitting those pads, hitting that mat. And when I get to put the paws on somebody in some sparring, that'll take you out of any depression. Like it's so.
Well, and do you keep the martial arts mindset sparring? Like, is it about banging? Listen, sometimes it's fun. Don't get me wrong, ruffling some feathers. But are you analyzing your game the entire? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, like keeping as you're sparring, watch out for this, double check that. I really want to
Yeah.
work this, try to work this round. Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm a scientist. In my brain, I'm a
Yeah, I guess
scientist. Like,
yeah, I guess that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
experimenting. Imma throw the jab, and I'm throwing the jab to hit you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when I throw this jab, right? You gonna do this and that, and I build my game from there, you know?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
yeah, I'm a scientist with me. I'm always when I watch fights, I don't watch, of course you react if there's, like, a big hard shot, but I'm looking at his feet. I'm like, "Whoa, how did he get to that position? Did he bring his right foot, put it outside his left like that? Was his elbow in? Like he kept that elbow in tight. Dude couldn't even see his hand coming. Like that's what I'm looking at, you know? I'm not just looking for the big knockout or the big result of the fight. I'm analyzing every little thing. Like, oh man, this guy, he keeps coming in with that left hand down. Like, I guarantee you, if dude reads that, this fight's over, right? Sure enough, he reads it, there it goes. And you think about those kind of things when you go into like your own training, like, okay, how I was analyzing dude and how he was moving. I got to think about that when I'm going up against somebody, right? I can't be stepping in too heavy or backing up too much, like all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm constantly reading the game like a book, and it just keeps me stimulated, trying to grow, trying to figure it all out.
I'm totally the same way, and it keeps me obsessed. Like it keeps me
Yeah,
excited. The scientists,
yeah,
always picking things apart.
yeah.
Um, and 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 whether I use it at all, I don't care. I just like to. It's what I like to do with my spare time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, and along with that, I've said this before on the podcast. My favorite thing as a coach is and I always say this. I want my guys in hard fights, and
Mm,
because that's where the growth happens.
mm.
And it gives me an opportunity to need to adjust in real time, which I'm
Yeah,
obsessed with. The
yeah,
real time change in strategy in a
yeah.
human battle. I'm
Mm.
obsessed with it.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Yeah. I've always tried to be an adaptable kind of guy. That's why I've kind of never really been afraid of any competition because I feel like everybody can be figured out. You always have a time limit to do it, but I feel like everybody, they give you their tells, they give you something. And if you're poised enough to kind of, weather the storm and go through it, chances are you figure it out. It's easier in sparring because you get all those rounds. But the fun part about the fight is, like you said, trying to do it in real time and who's going to do it first and who's going to do it right. And, yeah, that just it's like that poker game, you have one good hand, you kill the whole table, and then you waiting for that next hand, like, "All right, what we gonna do?"
Yes. Yeah, man. Good call. Good call. And that's my whole obsession with it, man. Combat sports. Um, let's let's talk about some of your. Here's Cody Jerome, man.
Oh, Cody.
No, the road to one tournament. It was like up to this point, man. Just the whole tournament was just like a fucking highlight for me. The whole
Yeah,
thing was just crazy.
yeah,
Um,
it was a good one.
when yeah, it was wild, and you were part of that, man. And obviously had probably the big. I as a commentator, it's probably the biggest I've freaked out. But man, so again, let's be real, big underdog going into that one. But I also knew your attitude, and I also know you have good hands and you have sharp eyes, and now you got little gloves on.
Yeah,
Um, what were you thinking? What were your thoughts? Maybe even as far as game plan going into this fight before you guys actually knuckled up.
bruh. Again, respect to Cody, but I thought I was gonna kill Cody. I
Yeah,
thought I was gonna destroy that guy, and I had it in the beginning because, again, all due respect, he went down pretty easy. I hadn't even really got into what I wanted to get into.
yeah, man. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I didn't know what happened. I thought he hurt his knee. I had no idea.
Yeah, I don't
Did,
know,
did you?
maybe it was the body shot
Did
that
you know
was that?
when it happened? Did you know?
That he was
Like
down?
right when you connected, did you know that he he needed help?
Nah, man, I had a whole bunch of other stuff I was about to get into
Okay,
right off of that
okay,
because I was lining it up, and he didn't play he didn't do what he did after the knockdown right away, and the first time we fought, he did. So, he obviously got smarter, right? But I was, in a way, ready for that, right? Then when I dropped him, my stupid ass forgot we got small gloves on, right?
right.
So I just in my mind, I was like, just touch his ass one time and it's over. Just one time. So I was just chasing, 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 chasing. And he came with a beautiful cross that even when he hit me, I was like, oh, good shot. But because it's them small ass gloves, when I stepped, it was like I stepped in the water. I didn't even realize that it took my legs out, you know? And so after that, he started doing the rush thing. And I was just trying to match him. And like, that's his game, right? That's his
Yes.
game. And with the small gloves, like it was my first time ever fighting with small gloves like that. Even with MMA guys, they're always wearing boxing gloves and stuff, right? So I've never really done the small gloves thing. And I just didn't realize, like, when you take a shot with those small gloves, like, it shakes your whole body every single shot. So I would love to do another fight like that. That fight was so much fun. I would just, doing it again, I would love to have like just better strategy. But that was so much fun. Like, I would love to do another fight like that. But yeah, that was just like, I just got super eager. I saw him drop so easy and I was like, oh, barbecue chicken. I'm like, this guy's over with. And yeah, I just got overzealous. And Cody's a tough guy, like, it sucks he didn't have the best performance at one, but like Cody's been a tough guy for a long time. Like, say what you want about technique and everything. Dude is tough. Like, he takes shots, he gives shots. He's stronger than people think, he's
Keep
stronger
hearing that, man.
he's stronger than he looks, Like, watching him on tape, I was like, oh, easy, I got this guy. But then you step in the ring with him, it's a different case. Duval's like that. Duval's like that. Duval Garvey,
Yes.
another guy. I watched him on tape and I was like, oh, easy. I got that. Light work. And then you get in there with him and he's very, very strong, very stable in his clinch, very consistent. He can take a shot. Yeah, it was just one of those kind of, I don't know, maybe.
I don't mean to, and I'm not asking without disrespect, but I'm just curious what made you feel that way about those guys? Like, what is it that made you feel like, oh, I got it?
I just felt like technically, when you're talking technique and how it all kind of pieced together, I just felt like my technique is sharper,
Okay.
Like, everybody has their style, and especially certain guys, they figure out what works for them, right? Obviously, the ball clearly has, and up until one, so too did uh come on, man, what's the boy's name we just fought? Cody. Thank you. Sorry, Cody, my bad. Right? But I just watching them, I was just like, I think my technique is better. I think I could flow and put things together a little bit more fluid, more smoother than them, right? What I didn't factor in was like their straight up toughness, and their sheer will to get you to where they want to fight. Like, you fight Duvall. Like, I wanted to dance around him and, do all that stuff. Dude said, nah, you're gonna sit in one spot and I'm gonna put you there. And if you try to move, I'm gonna clinch your ass. And like, he's not easy to move,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Cody he's just rapid fire. And most cases, you deal with someone's combo and they usually need like, a couple seconds to reprieve. And then that's when I would, either jump in, get out, whatever. Cody doesn't really give you that,
No.
Like, he doesn't
Yes.
really give you that. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's, super surprising. That
Sure.
was super surprising.
So yeah, man. Listen to this. I just remember this so clearly, man. You and Cody, like, I remember him getting knocked down. I kind of remember you getting knocked down. But what I remember is sitting here and looking up to my right and watching like that old school MMA fight. I can't remember the Japanese guy's name, but Don Fry and that
Mm.
Japanese guy just feeding each other at the same time.
Yeah. 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 That's what it was.
Bonkers, bro. Bonkers.
All I wanted to do was just hit him. I was like, just one shot. I know it. I just hit him once. And that's all I was thinking. I wasn't trying to block. My head movement that I worked on the entire time getting ready for the fight, none of it. None of it.
Right.
I was just like, touch this boy one more time. And we're going across well, actually, I probably would have had Quinn next. That would have been a hell of a fight. against
Yeah,
Williams.
what a gorilla.
I couldn't look past him. But yeah, I just in that fight, I just wanted to touch him just one time.
Yeah, that was wild, bro. That was wild. Like, and that was the quarterfinals, right? Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, like first round stuff.
right. And then I'm sure I got the right date. And then Morgan, when she had her fight and her opponent, just it was just you're just like, what a wild night, bro.
Yeah,
Everyone's falling down like they're getting sniped. It
yeah,
was crazy.
yeah. No, that was a cool tournament. Like I feel we should do a tournament like that without it having to be to get to one. Like I don't know if we obviously can do Muay Thai with small gloves. So I don't,
I
somebody
see
gotta.
what you mean. Yeah, there doesn't have to be a giant reward at the end, just
Yeah, man.
per se.
Yeah,
I hear you. Okay,
and
maybe it's a cash
I think
reward instead.
yeah, and I think there's a lot of guys that would want to do that. That would want to get into something like that because there's look, one is huge. Everybody's loving watching that, right? So obviously there's a hell of a lot of influence.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Now thinking about that, let's say you won that tournament. Um, this is just my opinion, but I understand Jake's killing it and Taylor's killing it, but for the most part, um, dudes aren't getting fights, and women for that matter.
Yeah.
Um, how do you feel about that? Are you do you still wish to be there, or you can't? It's hard to find fights. Like it's one championship, or you sit out on the bench.
Yeah.
Not for everybody, obviously, but are you seeing that? How do you feel about that? Are you looking back on it? Are you happy you didn't make it, or is it still something you'd like to do?
Well, I just like fighting. I'm not really chasing anything specifically. It's just that style of fight with the small gloves, the Muay Thai with the small gloves. Like I would love to do that
Yeah,
a couple
I
more
could see that.
times.
I could see that.
That was like so much fun. I would love to do that so much time. On wherever my
What a
career would take
sentence.
me. Wherever my career would take me. I just bro, you know what I feel? I feel like there's not enough going on here that it sucks that because someone over here, even Jake, as great as he is, and honestly, he's doing big things. And look how he's doing highlights and stuff, and he's still struggling to get fights.
Yes. Well, I didn't. Oh, yeah. That was kind of. I didn't want to bring him up, but that was kind
I
of my
love
point. Like,
man,
and
that's
guys
a
like
legend.
you, and guys like you and him. If you could fight every weekend, you would. Fighters
Every
got to
single
fight.
weekend. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Why not? I'm not a guy like I'm not the one who needs this fight camp to get ready for a fight. Like I'm always ready to go. Will I need, say my consistency was not as much as it should be as if you're getting into like a high stakes fight, like a high level fight. I can fix that in 2 weeks. And then I'm ready to go because I'm always in there. I don't get fat. I don't take time off. And I don't train like an idiot where I'm always hurting myself.
Right. Smart.
Like but what's going on is I feel the mindset has shifted as on this side of the world where people are too focused on like the image, the stature, the idea rather than just doing the thing. And there's not enough fights out here. Guys, we got to do a tournament like that. We get 2 people that get to go overseas, and then the rest of us are just sitting at home watching because people aren't serious. Everyone says they want to do it, they want to fight, they want to do it, and then they do this 12-week fight camp only to get themselves hurt like a week before, and now
Yeah.
there's no fight.
Yes.
And there's been a
So.
lot of that. I've seen a lot of that over the last few years.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I think what I would like to see is just more opportunities here. Like we have the people. If you go in the gyms, there's a shit ton of people in the gyms, right? They're
Yes.
all sparring and stuff. It's just the mindset around competition. It's just backwards, man. Like everybody feels every fight should be a title fight. Every fight should be, the fight that makes you the most famous person ever. Instead of just going there and like the same way you work your sparring, go in there and do in front of a crowd, and maybe get a result out of it. See where you're
Well,
at.
and maybe not, but just rack up the experience, and everything that you're asking for will come.
It will
But don't
all
demand it.
come.
Earn it.
Yes, man. Yes. But
This is the old guy talking, right? Now
No,
I'm
I
the
hear you.
old
Listen,
guy. Back
I'm
in
the old
my
guy over
day, when I was fighting, man, we were fighting all the time. Man. Now
goddamn
these kids,
Facebook.
now these
No.
kids.
No, but yeah, it's changed.
Then, and along with that, I will also say that I'm going to be honest. I don't know nothing about nothing, but I hear rumblings. But the regulation, it's a financial risk to hold a fight card, and that's not right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
These commissions are trash, man.
that's got to get fixed.
It
You know?
does. It does. I completely agree with you. These commissions, it makes no sense. You're a commission for boxing or for Muay Thai, whatever. So I would think you organize this because you're trying to grow the sport, right? You want people
Yes.
to participate. So why in the holy hell are you doing everything to make it not happen? Like they do everything to not have these fights. I understand there's been a couple unfortunate situations. I understand that. But if you really do your research, you would see it wasn't about negligence or poor practice or anything. One coincidence, a little bit on the individual and how they approach their training, right?
Right. Right.
People who would, if there were knowledgeable people in those positions, they would know that. They would understand, like, okay, that guy, as great as he was, he trained like a meathead. You know, he was somebody who's going to take a lot of shots. All of us fighters know if you're going to be that guy, it's kind of risky. You don't want to go that far. You never want that to happen. But, it's anybody with any sort of knowledge in it would kind of understand that, right? And not hold it against the entire group, like everybody. Like, with Wolf House, we do a lot of boxing. And, this Edmonton Boxing Commission, they do everything to not let these guys fight. Not let 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds, young kids just trying to get that experience, just trying to get in there. We're not letting them fight. And then we get these referees that come in and it's like they make it about them. They want to be the star of the show. It's like, come on, man. These kids ain't making no money, right? They're literally paying to do this, paying your ass to do this. Why are you stopping it? Like that's what needs to change. We need to put people who actually love the sport, love the martial arts. They should be the ones leading these commissions because they're the ones who are going to actually, one, keep the fighters safe because they understand, and two, promote and grow the sports as they should. We just have individuals who just don't want to see it grow. It's like they don't want to work.
Well, and beyond that, I do hear, like even just as far as I've even heard from a commission member, like we just don't have the budget. Like the budget doesn't allow, and so we have to, make up the money, or that's why commission costs are so high. Okay, I understand. Okay, so how do we increase the budget?
Budget for what?
Oh man,
What?
I should just kept my mouth shut. I don't even know.
Budget for what?
Like
to say yes or no?
I don't know, and I'm sure I'll get a message from it now. But I don't know if it has to do with liabilities or I don't really know. But for Tyson, why did you question me, man? Thanks a lot.
Hey, man, it's my bad. You're the one asking the questions. My fault. Got carried away.
But here's what I can tell you about it is when I heard the reasons why, and again, please somebody message me, and I'm happy to share it.
Me too.
But it did make sense. It did, and I'm like, okay, but then how can we increase it? How do we do it then? Like, I would imagine if we talked about budget for spending for anything, whether it be liabilities or coaches or refs or anything, I'd love to hear about the hockey budget. I would imagine that's pretty high.
I was going to go to hockey, man. I'm glad you said it first because I was going to go to hockey because I was going to say, injuries happen in hockey too. We get young kids tearing their ACLs and stuff like that, but you don't see them shutting down the hockey arenas. You don't see them not playing games. I'm not starting fights with any communities. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense. We have people who kind of just they only see it from like the purely cosmetic perspective, right? Just what's in front of them, just what they see from the outside. They don't know the inside. They don't understand it,
Right. And
They don't
so now I
understand.
just thought of this, and I'm not knocking the commissions and stuff. I understand, but
I'm
but
knocking them. They need to
okay.
step it up, man. I'm knocking them. What's wrong with them, man?
Well,
Kieran has to go. Let's be real, okay? Kieran Kettle has to go onto the reserve to do his thing. Why do you think that is? Because the poor guy can't do it on city grounds because these fools are trying to stop it. You got a whole group of all these young people trying to build themselves up personally, mentally, physically, right? Doing something they love. All these people who come in and support all these gyms that they got training partners, family, friends, all these people that want to show up and do it and be a part of it. But yet we can't do it. Why? Why? Why not? They say you need your medicals. These guys, these fighters go pay for the medicals sometimes, pay to go get the blood taken and do all that stuff because they want to get in there and fight. And then what does the commission do? See that? Oh, no, you got to do this. No, you got to do this. No, you got to do. Why do I got to jump through hoops to do something I love? And you're not getting any gain by making me jump through these hoops. What do we?
my full assumption is liability.
Liability. I mean,
You know,
it's a contact sport, bruh.
everybody wants to get their ass covered so nobody gets sued. I think.
But no one's suing. No one's suing, man. Who's suing?
I don't know, man. Don't yell at me. I'm sorry, bro. I'm just saying. But Kieran is my friend, and
Yes.
and I can tell you, in all honesty, anybody listening, that we've had several conversations.
Mm.
The bottom line is, the guy wants things to blow up, and he wants everyone to come and be part of it. No, I was going to say come with him. That isn't correct. He wants to do it with everyone,
Yeah.
and it does seem like. I admit that I don't know. I'm not him. I'm not his therapist, but like, it seems like there's a lot of resistance. And
Yes.
I agree. I hear some things, but you're just like, is this just like why, what's happening? Why are we fighting? I don't understand. And I don't even know if I want to know. Maybe I'll stay ignorant to it. Maybe it's just best that way.
No,
I
I want to
understand.
know. I
Right.
want to know so I can get into a position and get their ass out of there, man. Like we got some young talent here. Lots of people and not just young people, man. There's some of us older guys that still want to keep it going. Like we know this is it's not just blood sport. It's not just, oh, I want to hurt somebody. Like these people really grow themselves by participating in this. Like this is self-growth. People growing, becoming better people, right? Not going and robbing people, not going and starting fights in school. You know what I mean? Like people that actually use what they do in their training to help them better themselves in their life outside of the gym. Even the competitors will tell you, that's how it does for them. Why are we stopping that? Why does Kieran have to do all this? Look what the guy's doing for Muay Thai, putting on some great shows and some memories for these guys, man.
Right.
Some serious memories that they'll take forever, but he's got to do all this song and dance for it, and then he's put in a position where, because his options are limited, those people that he's working with, they're trying to, give him a hard time too, because they know his options are limited. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. There's all these people trying to grow, all for the right reasons. It's super positive. There's a little bit of blood. There's a little bit of blood, right?
Always.
But I mean, in football, there's a lot of blood. There's a little bit of blood, concussion, broken legs, hockey, the same thing. I mean, if you ever taken a baseball to the face, like that sucks, like there's accidents that happen in all of it. But I don't think that's a means to like shut it down and make it impossible to do. It's just not fair.
Right. And even something I'm starting to get, it's still really muddy for me, but becoming clearer. But something I always said, even, let's call it 20 podcasts ago. And just like you said, like, we've been around a long time and we still have no idea why. Like, why? And I'm just telling you what it feels like. I'm not saying this is what it is, but I'm trying to be rational and logical about it. But it feels less like promotion and education and more like enforcement.
Yeah. Yeah. You get some
feels like
guys
that's
who,
people.
they never got to be the boss where they were, and so now They get to be the boss, you know? They just for the idea they've never been able to say no. They just want they're not hearing what's up. No, no. This is my time to say no. And that's what they do. That's what they do. And it really sucks. Like I'm watching these kids, they want to compete, they want to grow, and we're struggling to find a place for them to go. And then, and then now we have like this kind of like soft mentality. I'm gonna say it. It's like a soft mentality where, we're battling with these commissions that are making things hard. And then you have like a group that they don't want to challenge themselves when it's time to challenge themselves, right? I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen a rash of like fights being canceled, people pulling out of fights more than I've ever seen.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone else is seeing it, but I'm seeing it, right?
Yep.
There's a
No, I
lot of
agree.
that. And so, yeah, I just feel like one kind of like helps the other in this sense, like you know what I mean? Like if there was no issues about fights and there was always fights and let's go, let's go, let's go, I think you would see less of that, that soft, I need a 15-week fight camp to be ready for a 3-round, 2-minute 3-round fight,
Right.
only to, hurt your knee and pull out of the fight. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, and you look at countries, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, and these kids are getting in like 8-10 fights a month.
Yes.
A month.
Yes.
Tournaments every weekend.
Yes. Every weekend. Every weekend. Yes. And they're training. So what you need a camp for? They're training. They're ready. After the last fight, they're ready. They're thinking about the next fight and they're getting ready for it. And then when that call comes, they don't have to do anything. They just, let's go. Let's get in there. I don't know why that isn't a thing here. I don't know. Everybody wants to,
Soft, man.
spar
With your-
hard and hurt each other and then take 12 weeks off and then come back and, man, I used to, it's like, okay, what are you doing now, man? Like, what are you doing now? Hey, but when I was, bro, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. Used to be. I'm not listening.
I'm not listening. I'm not.
What are you doing
like,
now?
I'm here right now. Like, are we doing this now? No, but hey, trust me. When like 5 years ago, bro, I was doing like 12 rounds every day, like every day. Like, oh, okay. Thanks. That's great.
Spoken like a guy who's been around a while and heard a lot of it.
Bruh, I could go on forever. What's it been? 58 minutes? Bruh, I could give you another 58 just complaining about these kids.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do have a question. I do want to bring up a topic.
Let's go.
And I got to be real with you, bro. I'm trying not to step on any toes, but you have made me blush
my
this
mic
entire
in case you want
podcast.
me to start singing. In case you want me to start singing, I brought my mic. So what you got for me?
Oh, I got so many messages coming. Okay. All right, man. Your post-fight speech.
Oh,
I want to thank me. Let me tell you from my point of view. First of all, for every reason we just talked about, I've seen you grow into this thing. What feels like go through it the hard way, win big fights, lose big fights. When I saw you were amped, and after the history we've had of just being in the same circuit, I was fucking proud of you. I loved it, and I thought you earned that speech for yourself. How did you feel about it?
bruh. So, okay. So there was a little bit of truth to it, but it wasn't meant to be a shot at anybody. It was just like an acknowledgement to myself,
That's how I saw it.
It was a huge acknowledgement to myself. And I was just trying to be funny, man. Like you see, I'm trying to be funny now. Like this just who I am. And I channeled like the old Conor McGregor, and I was like, they won't even see this coming, right? And so
Right.
that was my approach. But going into that, there was a fair amount of like me getting myself ready, right? I had a group around, but it was really when they were around was much more convenient for them than when it was convenient for me, right? And I had to do a lot of sacrificing to make that time to be with them. And like, they were all great and having them was cool, but they weren't necessarily really making me that much better. Right. So there was that to it. It's like I felt like I kind of had to make myself better because I didn't really have anything around me to help me make myself better. And then going into that fight, like, especially at that point with the split decision, I ain't never won no split decisions. Like never. As soon as I heard split this winner by split decision, I was like, oh great, here we go. Let me go shake his hand because he won this
Really?
thing. And then they said my name. I exploded. I was like, yes, this is awesome. And so when I was
Course.
saying that, it was like I just took that moment. I thought about it. I was like, bruh, like you fought so long. You've done so much. You're up and down. And now you got a belt, bro. You got a pro belt. If there was any goal I had when I was a kid, whether it was football, basketball, baseball, I always wanted to be a professional champion, like a professional athlete.
And from what I know, you got that thing the fucking hard way.
Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. I mean, I took that fight something of short notice, right? Duval was supposed
I
to
mean,
get that
the whole
year.
journey, man. I mean, the whole fucking journey up to it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
not
yeah.
an easy road for you.
No, it wasn't. It was. I never wanted it to be because again, the growth, bruh. Like the growth. I think I'm a pretty good coach now. Had I not gone through all of that, it wouldn't be that way. I wouldn't
Right,
have the
right.
perspective that I have. I wouldn't have the empathy and compassion that I have now had I not gone through all of that stuff. Right. So I'm grateful for it. But just in that moment, I would just felt like, man, you did so good for yourself. Like you really, you came out here and you won a professional title, Thank yourself for it. And that's what I just took that moment like, bruh, you did this, man. Like, yo, I want to thank me, like
Right.
it was that kind of thing. So there was some truth to it as far as like feeling like I kind of did it a little bit by myself at most of the time. I'm not gonna say the entire time, but most of the time, no one ever called me and say, hey Tyson, where's your weight at? Tyson, how you feeling today? Tyson, do you get any running done? Like, how much pads? Hey Tyson, there's none of that stuff. So part of me felt like I did kind of do it by myself, but it was half truth, half just trying to
Having
be
fun.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
having a good time.
With
I was elated at that moment.
Well, and with the side of adrenaline, man.
Exactly. Exactly. That was a tough fight. Dude dropped me. Dude
Yeah.
slapped me right on my chin, dropped me. Like, I did not like that at all, and, when you go through those things in the midst of a fight, that could win or lose a thing. So you're sitting there, at the end of it, waiting for the decision, you realize all that happened. You don't know what to expect, right? And then they say your name, especially when you're not used to being on that side. I don't win split decisions. I don't I think that's the only split decision I've ever won. There might have been one other, but I don't win split decision. So when he said split decision, and he said my name, kaboom! Like, this is
Yeah, man.
awesome. This is
Nice.
awesome. I always
Not
seen that green belt as a boxing fan. And then, that meant a lot to me to have that meant a lot to me to get that. And it was, again, it was like a childhood dream. Like I've always wanted to be a professional champion. Didn't know how it was going to happen. I personally thought I was going to win an NBA championship, but then I
okay.
realized 6 feet ain't nothing in the NBA. Right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I came at it a different way, but that's what it was. It was like a childhood achievement in that moment, And I just wanted to, I wanted to give myself the acknowledgement, it just in case no one else did,
Sure. And I loved it. I thought you earned that speech, and I took it exactly as you just said it. I just I guess as a coach, I don't know how weird this sounds. I don't need, and I'm not knocking anybody, by the way. I don't need a public thank you. I don't need it. If anything, it makes me uncomfortable.
Some
Just
people do.
fucking move on, okay?
Yeah.
Thank me in the back. This is your time.
Which is what
You know
I
what I
did.
mean? And I don't need I'm not knocking anything. Maybe you, if that's what I want to thank you when you're in the ring. Maybe okay, that's okay, but I don't need it.
Mhm.
Your efforts, and I saw Joe Comelford, shout out to a friend of the show, but your effort is the thank you.
Yes.
You know I'm happy with that. You put out the effort. I know you can, and I'll take that as the thank you. So
Yeah.
um I'm not knocking anybody, but I can see how that could be a polarizing speech for
Well,
some.
I mean, if you don't know somebody, which I thought they did know me, that shouldn't
Okay.
be a problem, right?
Okay.
If they knew me, I thought these guys knew me. I really did. But it turns out, you know, what was more important to them was the public notoriety, right? Because that was the basis of our split was, oh man, that oh thank me speech. Like so many people thought that was so disrespectful and so selfish. And how could you be so selfish? It's like, hold on, man. You don't forget when I came to the back with literal tears running down my face, hugging y'all saying, I love you guys. Thank you for everything. The ups, the downs, the good, the bad. Thank you guys. Like, thank you. With tears in my eyes, man. Genuine tears in my eyes. One of another guy who kind of was part of the whole getting rid of Tyson scheme, he fought earlier and got beat. And I went to him and I said, hey, man, looked him in his eyes, held him, said, look, that what fight was my fight, but I fought for you, brother. I fought for you. And he looked at me, water in his eyes too. Thank you, man. I feel you. I feel you. And then, just like I said earlier, a couple days go by, and now Tyson is public enemy number one. And they're trying to say, oh, you're selfish. You don't think about anybody. It's like you took that 2 seconds that I said, I did a good job, and you took that as an offense and just, turned me into a bad guy.
And who knows? Might have been selfish, might have been terrible. But from my point of view, I loved it. I thought you earned it. And just and with the adrenaline and the pride, you could tell what it meant to you. And that's what I like. Like when I like that the last Muay Thai World Cup, Cameron Billy, he was super emotional when he won. I just like seeing that, the appreciation of it,
Yeah.
and so I'm pleased. I'm not knocking your old gym and training partners or nothing. It just all I can just say I was surprised that you had an apology video. I didn't understand where that came from for every reason I just said. I thought it was an earned thing, and if anything, how many people do that? Not many. It's seen as, oh, you're selfish, but like, fuck that, man. Like, you're the one going to war.
Yeah.
You can say, holy shit, look what I just did. Way to go.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, personally.
Yeah. That was just me continuing to, like, I don't know, take the high road, show respect,
Good on you.
And really, the respect was kind of gone. They never showed me none, but I don't know. It's just, I'm a martial artist. Like, I'm a martial artist. So I have the utmost respect at all times. At all times. None of us own Muay Thai, right? This shit was created hundreds of years ago. We're just giving our versions from like our own experience, our own influences, and just passing it on. Like a true martial artist, you get in, you learn, and then you pay it forward. Like that's the game.
Yeah.
So I just took the high road. Even now, like I want to talk a lot of shit. Like I want to say a lot of stuff, but I don't. It's not gonna do anything. I just didn't like that. My true passion and my love, I was just showing it, and that was what was used as like a negative thing. Like, oh, you're not respectful. You don't care about nobody. When like that came from like the joy and the love and the respect and the passion, and the fulfillment, like that was true from the bottom of my heart. Even when I thanked them, I wasn't gonna go out there and cry out in front of everybody. That was my fun moment, you know. But in the back, I gave them all the emotion. I was genuine and sincere, and it didn't mean anything. And that's kind of been kind of the like you said, the roller coaster, right? Where it just seemed as though I don't know. And I always say it's felt like it was my success. It felt like every time I started to do well, reg- regardless of what it was, whatever I did after the success was what kind of ruined the relationship.
Sure. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's all good. And I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt over it. It's when you do something for a long time, you kind of go through everything, right?
Sure. Yeah. Very true, man. Very true. I just, oh man, yeah, and just on that, and here's just my whole thing on that thing. I know I kind of touched on it, but like, to the victor go the spoils. Th- this is how I would view my fighters. Well, I mean, just you were the victor. These are your spoils, not
Yeah,
mine. You know,
exactly.
it's not about me. You
No.
know, so but that's just how I see. That's your time to shine. I didn't have to do shit. I'm on the other side of the ropes. It was you that had to go in there in
Exactly.
your underwear, make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
man. And
that's
just
just
like
how I feel.
enjoy that moment for them, you know?
You're allowed. You're allowed.
You're
You're
allowed
allowed
to.
to. You're
Yeah.
allowed to have it. I'm allowed to enjoy it for you. You
Yeah.
know?
And like, you know, the public notoriety, it would have came like we just won a title. We just won a national title. Like people would have people would have wanted to know what's going on.
Right.
And at the time, right
You
when
can
it
lean on
happened,
that.
people were reaching out already.
Yeah.
You
There you
know,
go.
like people wanted to be part of the club. People wanted to join. And then, you know, they decided, nah, man, Tyson wants to be a better person. We can't have that. Tyson wants to be the
Well,
best version of himself. How dare him? This selfish asshole, that guy.
bro, I got to tell you. Besides, you want to know my two most podcast guests that probably talk the most shit? You're in good company, sir. You and Liam.
Oh no!
You and Liam Harrison.
Oh wow, that's good company, man.
You're in good
That's
company,
good
buddy.
company, man.
Listen, but I also know that a lot of this is just your charismatic personality, and you're having fun.
I'm just talking. Yeah,
That's just it.
I don't hate anybody, man. I love it all. If you can
That's
jump in there and do that stuff, like I know what that takes, bruh. Like I know. I have nothing but respect for you. Anybody that I meet, I respect them. I love them until they do something to me, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's just how it is. And Muay Thai has helped me be that type of person, you know? Everything that I am is just Muay Thai. That love for Muay Thai is just kind of bled into everything else, you know?
Me
And
too, man. Love it.
sucks when you kind of meet those people that kind of take that away, you know?
Yeah, most people would fold. It's let alone go through it several times.
Mm.
But that's why you're Tyson Green, man. That's why we know you as who you are.
I love it.
Last couple questions, man.
Let's go.
Who are your 3 favorite fighters of all time, and why?
Oh, easily. So my hero is Anderson Silva.
No,
Anderson Silva is my absolute hero. When he lost that fight to Chris Weidman, the first one, broke my heart, man. Broke my heart. I cried real tears when
Is that
that
right?
because that's my hero. That guy. I've patterned a lot of my game off of Anderson Silva. As
Okay.
the striking is concerned, like a lot of what I do is Anderson Silva. Um, outside of that, like I have guys that I like. I was a big Roy Jones fan growing up with boxing. I liked his style for sure. And then
I
from
can see
there,
where you got that lead snappy left hook from now.
yeah. Yes. And his cross, I've really perfected, like, well, I won't say perfected, but my straight right is one of my best tools. And I watch a lot of Roy Jones to kind of get that. And then I don't know, man. That's pretty much it as far as like fight athletes are concerned. I got I got pretty much a favorite in like every sport because
All right.
I'm what back in the day before it became a protection for your groin. I'm what's known as the jock. Okay, back in the day, I'm a jock. Okay, as true
Yeah.
as it is, right?
Yeah.
All sports. I love all sports. When I was a kid, I was on every team. I was on the tennis team. I was on the curling team. I was on the badminton team. Like I even had a stint in golf. You know, I played all the sports: soccer, baseball, hockey, basketball, football,
Jesus.
like all of it, all of it. I
Just
just
an athlete in every sense of the
in
word.
every sense of the word. Like I've never stopped moving and playing. Not from the moment I stood upright and didn't fall back down. That's what it's
Shit.
so.
Nice.
Yeah, but as far as influences, yeah, I'd say Anderson Silva is like the absolute top. And then if I had to add another, because there really isn't much other than Anderson Silva as far as like fight
Okay.
influence. I love a lot of guys, and I love
Sure.
a lot of respect.
Anybody you like watching right now?
Anyone I like watching right now. I mean, I love all the stuff that's going on in one. I think that's good technique type fighting, not like the brawly stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not
Yes.
into UFC like I used to be.
Yeah, me too.
Especially, some of those guys kinda the real skilled fighters kinda transitioned out, and then, it's not all about wrestling. No disrespect to wrestling, but
Yep.
I like seeing striking, you know?
That's it. Yeah, I hear you.
And, once I like, I like what, One's doing with, like, the kickboxing, 'cause, I loved K1.
Yeah,
K1,
man.
I loved K1, man.
What an era.
Semi-Steel. What else we got? Ernesto Hus,
Yeah.
Gokhan Saki, Badr
Yeah.
Hari, like, man,
You bet.
what's his name?
Jer-
Remy Boyansky.
Yeah.
I
Jerome
love
Lebanon
that guy, the
Jr.
flying knees, like, man, yeah, that kind of stuff, was what I always loved. But yes, I always rant. But to answer your question, Anderson Silva is probably the
Nice.
influence, like the influence.
Okay. Cool, man. I get it. I see that in your style. Nice relaxed hands, shoulder
Yeah,
motion.
the
Nice palm.
movement, just the way he moves so easily and like how he can manipulate people to think they're right there, like think he's gonna be right there, and it's just get out of the way. That's that's literally how I do things. Is I love to kind of use position. My whole thing is about position. Even when I'm coaching my young guys, I'm like, if what if the guy is strong? You got to still have power. Best way to get that power, not just swinging hard, you position yourself in a good spot, whether it be versus momentum or just giving yourself leverage, you can do a lot of damage, right? So watching Anderson Silva, he wasn't like overly strong, overly fast, he was just slick and he knew how to get to the right spot. Even his last fight with dude that's always getting knocked out there recently, that boxing fight he did against why are we struggling with the name?
Chavez Jr.?
No,
Oh,
the
no.
last one. The last
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
He just dropped
Oh, shit.
dude.
Who did he fight? Oh, he touched his heel and him with that uppercut.
Yes.
Tyron Woodley.
Tyron Woodley. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mean to shame him, but he has been kind of getting dropped recently
For
a
sure.
lot,
For sure.
right? But
Yeah.
yeah, like even, 50 years old, and he's still got it. He could still be tricky and mix people up. And yeah, man, that's how I like to be. I'd love to like I haven't had my fight where I really felt like I went into all of it. Like the kids say, get into your bag. Like I feel like I haven't gone into my whole bag,
I got you.
Maybe that's what the chase is. Maybe I'm looking for that one fight where like, I say this to my guys at the gym, like maybe I'm looking for that one fight where when I sit down by myself and there's nobody around, I smile and I giggle with myself because I'm like, man, that was a good ass fight, like I did I did this, maybe looking for that a little bit, but yeah.
For me, when I used to compete 307 years ago,
Oh, whatever.
what I would tell people is I'm always asking people, and I learned this from Vinny Shorman, friend of the show. Shout out to Vinny Shorman. But what are you chasing? Everybody says the win. I'm like, no. What about that win? What about it? One moment. What is it? And it's funny that you mentioned that because it was always after a win. Everybody congratulates you, feels nice. Whatever you drive home, you eat, you drink, whatever you do. But
Yeah.
it was always for me the shower when I get home by myself. The first time I get to be by myself with my win, and just for playing everything like. For me, it was always, what am I chasing? I'm like, I want to be happy in that shower,
Yes.
replaying my win, not my loss. I found one thing I was chasing. So it's funny that you said that.
Yes. No, that's maybe now that I'm saying out loud, maybe that's what the chase is, right? Because I've had a couple fights that, I felt good about. I was able to kind of display all my abilities, but then I wasn't like as experienced and, to be honest, as skilled as I am now, right? So like is now there's so much I've learned, so much that I've improved upon. It'd be nice if, I could get and just show all of it, like all of it, And it's difficult because I've always had like tough opponents, and they don't let you just go into everything. But yeah, it would be nice to have like a tough opponent, but still, like you said, when I'm sitting in the shower, it's just super grin because I'm just remembering like how good I fought, not just the fact that I dropped him or, hurt him or something, but what led to that, right? How did I set up that shot that dropped him? How did I put things together that ended up hurting him in the end,
Right.
That's
This moment happened. I saw it. I hit it. It finished. I fucking did it perfectly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. You don't have any critiques of yourself until maybe you go back and you watch the video and you see maybe a little something, right? You're like, oh, damn, good thing you didn't see that, right? But, I know pretty much every single fight I have, I got a shit ton of critiques, like a lot.
Sure.
Because,
Yes.
you just hold yourself to a higher expectation. But it would be nice to have just one of those where it's just like, man, that boy got the paws put on him, like
Yeah.
he got that work.
So, but is it fair to say at the end of this that your world title is your own self-respect?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, man. Yes. Yes. I'm at the end of the day, I don't know if you ever seen there was an interview with Mike Tyson, and there was the guy that was interviewing, he had all his belts laid out on the table. And the guy's trying to get Mike Tyson to tell him how he felt about all those belts. Mike Tyson looks at the belts, he's like, it's trash. This is nothing. It's just a belt. It's just whatever, And I was like, that's actually right. The belt is cool. But honestly, the ones who love the belt the most are the people who see you with the belt.
Good call. Yes,
The
sir.
people who see you with the belt, they're the ones who love the belt most. I'm thinking about the fight. I'm thinking about the opponent. I'm thinking about the performance, right? Not the winning or losing, but the performance, what I did in there. Did I compete at a level that I feel like I should be here, or I did everything. That's what I look at. And so I'm just trying to, collect experience, that makes me feel better as a person. But again, like I said, as I'm moving into the coaching realm, all this experience, all these ups and downs, man, you got a lot of knowledge, a lot of help that you can give to the ones coming up, right? The next
Yes.
generation or whatnot. So it's fun to take in all these experience and remember it all. And then, go to your guys and be like, hey man, I remember when I was in that fight and I was in this position and I had to this and that, you never know how that insight could help somebody. I never had that. I had, good fighters around me and I would ask them, yo man, that last fighter, when you were in this situation, like, how'd you get out of it? Like, what was your mindset? They'd be like, I just beat his ass, man. I just did what I had to,
All right.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool. Got it.
I think I'm sure it's already happened, but if there's anything I can say that will help you personally massively in the coaching role is I can see how your charisma is very magnetic. I I could see how that will be a massive benefit to those coming up underneath you. That charisma is going to go a long way, sir. Works
I
well for you.
appreciate that.
As a coach, I see it. I see it. All right, man. Last question.
Let's go.
You get to give one shout out and one shout out only to one person. Who is it?
One person? That's it?
Yes. That's it.
Bro, I had a list, man. One person? That's hard.
Okay,
man.
let's throw who gets the top shout out, and then you can list off whoever else after that, please.
Okay, well, my top shout out, I'm gonna be corny, is my mom. My mom
Yo.
is my best friend. She's always backing me up, even when I'm doing dumb stuff. She's always like, "Oh, my baby, you'll figure it out. You're dumb as shit, but you'll figure it out. Trust me."
Shout out to Mama Green.
So shout out to my mom. But man, I've had some great opponents that like, bruh, Chris McMillan, that you were talking about that tournament and how that fight shifted everything for me. That fight woke my ass up. Cause again, just like how I talked about thinking I was gonna destroy Cody, I thought I was gonna destroy Chris. I was nowhere on his level as far as experience, but in my heart, I thought I was gonna destroy this guy. I never seen him on tape or anything. just when we're
Okay.
in front of each other, I was like, oh yeah, barbecue chicken. It's over. Right.
Sure.
And then he woke my ass up. He realized, like, he showed me that, nah, bro, you can't just be an athlete and come in here and jump around and, be fast and stuff and think you're gonna beat fighters. He's like, yo, there's skill to this. And till this day, he was coming out to a song, Rick Ross song, "Devil Is a Lie." That
Okay.
song still gives me a weird feeling when I hear it. Like
Is
it's
that right? Hey.
it's hard to explain, but it gives me a weird feeling because I remember that was, and my last fight with Duvall, I finally got to tell him that. I told him, man, that moment, bruh, like he was a part of kind of what led me to being in that situation to even have a title opportunity, fight for a belt. That shifted everything. So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Quinn. Shout out to Duvall. Shout out to Peter Arbo. You see this?
Oh
one?
yeah, that's
see that?
right.
Can you see that?
I do.
That's
I do.
Peter Arbo right there, big guy. I
you go.
clocked him with an elbow, and he said, "Yeah, hold that too, bro."
There you go. You guys
Nope.
gave each other a Muay Thai tattoo.
That one's
Yeah.
Quinn. That one's Quinn.
Okay.
That one's Duvall right there. Right?
Look at this tested lion right here, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate all the scars. I appreciate all the dudes that stood in front of me to battle. They all made me better. My team, my current team, you know what I'm saying? Like a really good group of guys and gals, we got some good female fighters that, trying to bring them up. I want to see more girls competing, man. Some of these poor ladies, they don't get no fights, and then how everybody's pulling out of fights. At least with the guys, there's usually another dude waiting. With the girls, if the one pulls out, they get
It's done.
nothing. And then it's months before they get another one. Like, I would love to see that change. So I'm always trying to push for like more female participation, however we can do it, get more
Nice.
girls in there for sure.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, man, shout out to anybody who stepped in front of me, took some leather, took the paws, but then threw them back at me. Like, you all made me a better person, for sure.
Dude, man. Bro, what a podcast. Listen, man, that was awesome. And I thank you for I really I get to commentate on it a little bit. I get to tell your backstory and but it's, man, it was awesome. I've known you for so long, and just to hear some of the stories, and like,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with kind of, well, to be honest, we sound kind of similar. Like,
Yeah, we
I don't
do.
really care about the result. I want to hear the story behind the result.
Yeah.
Like those are the things I want to know. Yeah, you won, lost, whatever. Tell me about that. What were you
Yeah.
feeling? What hurt? What didn't? What led
Yeah.
up to that? Like,
How'd you
that's what I'm
get there?
obsessed with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome, man.
Love
Awesome.
it.
Anything else before we're out of here, sir?
Nah, man. Hey, I'm super thankful, super proud of you, brother. Like, I love what you're doing for the community, just like how we're talking about the commissions and stuff. You're doing your part to build the sport, bringing in some of these guys that would never get to talk. I mean, this is my first time really getting to talk about myself, other than when I'm sitting down in the gym talking with my guys, right? So, this is great for, guys like me and other dudes being able to be heard and be known and, build the sport, So definitely appreciate and proud of what you've done so far as well.
I appreciate it, man, and I'm grateful I'm grateful for it to be able to talk to everybody like this. Honestly,
Yeah.
this is my favorite thing in the world.
And I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right, man. Well, let you get to it. I'll probably get this maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, but real quick as well, guys. I'm going to be talking to the organizers of Sumo Fest YYC tomorrow. I'm going to go watch some sumo wrestling. So,
Okay.
yeah. So I got them on, and then, but in there, I'll try to get it in. So hopefully it'll be tomorrow, sir.
Let's go. All right, brother.
All right, man. Thanks, Tyson. I really appreciate it, man. What a chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, man. Talk soon.
Take care.